Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like the person staring back at you is not the one you were meant to be? Have you ever woken up feeling the weight of yesterday's mistakes pressing down on your chest, whispering that maybe you're too broken, too tired, too defeated to rise again? Let me tell you something. Every single one of us has been there. Every soul has faced nights where the darkness seemed endless, where hope felt like a cruel stranger, and where the dreams you once held tightly slipped through your fingers like sand. But listen to me. You are not done yet, not by a long shot. 2026 is not just another year on the calendar. No, it is your opportunity, your battlefield, your stage. It is the year where you can rise from the ashes of yesterday and stand taller, stronger, and wiser than you ever imagined. Your scars are not signs of failure. They are proof that you have survived. Your pain is not a prison. It is a teacher. It is time to rebuild, brick by brick, heart by heart, dream by dream. The world has not seen your best yet because your best is still coming. You've seen it, haven't you? The ones who claim to care, who wrap their criticism in sugar-coated words, but deep down they are feeding off your struggles. They smile when you stumble, offer advice that sounds caring but carries judgment, and position themselves as your confidants while quietly cheering on your failures. This is a harsh reality, but it is one you must face head on if you are serious about rebuilding yourself in 2026. People like this thrive on weakness. They thrive on doubt. They thrive when you question your worth and your abilities. Their concern is a mask, a veil, a clever disguise, hiding their envy, their fear, or their insecurity. And here's the thing, you can't afford to let their false concern dictate your actions or your emotions. Every step forward you take, they want to measure, criticize, or minimize. But the moment you recognize this, the moment you see through the facade, you gain power, you gain clarity. You begin to understand that their words are not truths, they are distractions. And if you let distractions control your life, 2026 will pass you by, leaving you with nothing but regrets. They will try to convince you that your pain is proof that you're failing, that your struggles are evidence of your limitations. But in reality, your pain is the signal that you are alive, that you are stretching, that you are growing. It's a sign that you are pushing past comfort zones, past fear, and past the ordinary. When they pretend to console you while secretly celebrating your setbacks, it's not because they know more than you. They don't. It's because they are scared of your potential, scared of the change they see forming before their eyes. People who celebrate pain disguised as concern are afraid that if you rise, you will outgrow them. And that fear drives them to manipulate, to whisper doubts, and to act as though they are helping while they are actually holding you back. In rebuilding yourself, you must learn to identify these people and shield your energy. Protect your heart, your mind, and your dreams. Recognize the difference between genuine support and disguised sabotage. It is painful to admit, but sometimes those closest to you are the most deceptive. Family members, friends, colleagues, they can all fall into this category. Their words may sound comforting, but the energy behind them is toxic. They may say, be careful, or I'm just looking out for you. But what they really mean is, don't get too far ahead of me. This is a reality you cannot ignore. To rebuild yourself, you must be willing to confront it. You must learn to detach emotionally from their disguised judgment. Your progress is not theirs to celebrate, and it is certainly not theirs to sabotage. You are building a life that they may not understand, and that's okay. Understanding is not required when your destiny is at stake. What matters is that you recognize the subtle ways people try to dim your light while pretending to be helpful. Some will cloak their celebration of your pain in stories and advice. They will reminisce about their struggles, painting them as if your journey should mirror theirs. I've been there, they will say, so be careful. And the trap here is subtle. The words sound reasonable. The tone sounds compassionate, and yet their intention is not to guide you, but to limit you. They want to ensure that you do not exceed the boundaries they've set for themselves. They want you to conform to the world they know, not the world you are creating. In 2026, if you are going to rebuild yourself, you must have the courage to reject this disguised concern. You must have the courage to step into your power, even if it makes them uncomfortable. True growth always makes some people uneasy. True growth always reveals the weakness of others who rely on your pain for validation. Disguised concern is a test. It is a test of your awareness, your discernment, and your resilience. When someone celebrates your pain in the form of advice or warnings, it is not your obligation to accept it. You have the right to question motives, the right to say no, and the right to protect your journey. Protecting yourself is not selfish, it is essential. Every word you internalize, every moment you allow their hidden glee to affect your emotions is a brick that blocks your progress. In rebuilding yourself, you must learn to evaluate every piece of guidance against the truth of your purpose. Does this advice lift me, or does it subtly weigh me down? Understanding the difference will save you years of struggle. And here's the beauty. When you finally recognize disguised concern for what it is, you begin to see people clearly. You no longer wear blinders. You see who truly wants the best for you and who only wants the illusion of control over your life. You become immune to subtle sabotage. You stop letting their hidden smiles dictate your confidence. You stop allowing their covert celebration to steal your joy. And in that moment, you reclaim power. You reclaim energy. You reclaim focus. Rebuilding yourself in 2026 begins with seeing the truth about those around you, not with pretending everything is fine. Every time they try to veil judgment as care, remember this: your life is yours to build, their opinions are theirs to carry. Their approval is optional. They may smile while you stumble, but your rise will be unstoppable if you do not internalize their disguised glee. Do not let them turn your struggles into their entertainment. You are not a show for anyone's validation or amusement. You are a creator of destiny, a builder of dreams, and a force to be reckoned with. Your pain is fuel, not a spectacle. Your setbacks are lessons, not a performance. The moment you understand this, you step into your power. Recognizing disguised concern also strengthens your emotional resilience. It teaches you to listen, to filter, to respond wisely. You learn the art of discernment, separating genuine help from hidden hostility, separating truth from disguised fear, separating support from subtle celebration of failure. In 2026, if you want to rebuild yourself fully, you must master this skill. Emotional clarity is as important as vision and action. Without it, you may work tirelessly only to have your progress hindered by the very people you thought were allies. Do not waste energy defending yourself against disguised concern. Instead, redirect that energy into action. Let every smile that hides envy, every word that hides judgment, and every hand that pretends to help be a reminder of why you must rise. Let it be motivation. Let it sharpen your focus. Let it drive you to build a life so strong that no disguised concern can shake it. Your power is within. Their celebration of your pain is irrelevant. In 2026, you decide who controls your story, and you decide that story will be one of triumph. Finally, understand this truth. Their concern is never yours to fix. You cannot change those who feed on disguised weakness. You cannot convince them to celebrate your victories genuinely, and you do not need to. Your focus is your rebuild. Your focus is your growth. Your focus is your destiny. Let their hidden celebration be the spark that ignites your fire. Let it push you to rise higher than you ever imagined. Let it remind you that your pain is not weakness, it is your power. And when you embrace that truth, disguised concern becomes irrelevant. You become unstoppable. You become unbreakable. You become the architect of your life in 2026. Too many of us have been living in the shadows of other people's approval, waiting for someone else to nod, to validate, to say, yes, now you can go forward. We've tied our courage to the comfort of acceptance, believing that our dreams need someone else's consent to become real. But here's the truth. No one is going to clear the path, hold your hand, or validate your worth. Waiting for permission is a silent form of surrender. It is allowing your life to be dictated by the limitations, fears, and opinions of others. In 2026, the only permission you need is your own. You are allowed to rise, to shine, to claim what is yours. You are allowed to take up space in this world, even if it makes others uncomfortable. Waiting for permission is a trap, a subtle thief of time and potential. Every day you delay your rise waiting for someone else's approval, you are postponing your destiny. You must understand that your life, your growth, your purpose, these are not negotiable. They are yours to seize, not theirs to grant. People will always have opinions about what you should do, where you should go, or how far you can reach. They will tell you to slow down, to be cautious, to play it safe. They disguise fear as wisdom, but the truth is their hesitation is not your limitation, it is theirs. Stop letting other people's uncertainty define your path. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you are ready, that you are worthy, that you can succeed. You have everything you need inside you right now. The courage, the strength, and the wisdom to take the first step are already there. In 2026, rebuilding yourself starts with that first step, even when nobody is watching, even when nobody believes in you. Permission is not needed. Approval is not required. Your action is the declaration that you are done waiting, done doubting, and done allowing others to write the script for your life. Waiting for permission also robs you of time. Every second spent hoping for external approval is a second lost that could have been used to build, to learn, to grow. Your dreams do not have expiration dates, but opportunities do. The world will not pause until you feel ready. Time is relentless, moving forward whether you take action or stay frozen. Rebuilding yourself in 2026 requires urgency. It requires the bravery to step forward into the unknown with only your own resolve as a guide. Waiting is easy. Waiting is comfortable. Waiting feels safe, but it will never get you closer to your potential. True freedom comes the moment you stop asking for permission and start taking action. That is where power lives. That is where transformation begins. And let's be honest. Waiting for permission is often disguised as humility or patience. We convince ourselves that we are being cautious, that we are strategic, that we are thinking things through. But many times it is fear hiding under the guise of prudence. Fear that we will fail, fear that we will be judged, fear that we will step out of the shadow of those who have always defined us. The truth is, failure is a necessary teacher and judgment is inevitable. No one escapes it. Those who rise and rebuild themselves do not wait for a green light from the world. They ignite their own fire and illuminate their own path. 2026 is the year you stop hiding behind other people's approval and start walking boldly into the life you were meant to live. Stop letting others' opinions create chains around your ambition. Stop asking if it's okay to pursue your dreams and start telling yourself that it's necessary. The people who doubt you will still exist, but their doubts will no longer matter. The moment you take responsibility for your own permission, you reclaim control over your destiny. You no longer live as a passenger in your life, waiting for someone else to hand you the steering wheel. You become the driver, the navigator, and the architect of every step forward. Permission is internal. It cannot be given externally. You are allowed to rise, to rebuild, to transform, and to become everything you were created to be. When you stop waiting, something magical happens. Confidence grows, momentum builds, doors you never imagined begin to open. But it begins with one simple realization. No one is responsible for your rise but you. You have been waiting for others to authorize your greatness. And while they deliberated, your potential waited untapped. That ends in 2026. Your rise cannot wait on the hesitation or approval of others. Your destiny is too urgent, your purpose too important, your dreams too large to sit idle. You must act now. Waiting for permission also dims your light. Each delay allows doubt to creep in, anxiety to multiply, and fear to take root. Your brilliance, your ideas, your gifts, they are not meant to be delayed. They are not meant to be questioned by external voices. They are meant to be unleashed. In 2026, rebuild yourself by reclaiming the authority over your life. The power to act, to speak, to create, and to rise belongs to you. It has always belonged to you. Permission is internal, and it is immediate. The moment you claim it, nothing and no one can stop you. Stop giving power to those who have no stake in your dreams. Stop waiting for approval that will never be fully granted. Stop believing that someone else's comfort matters more than your growth. In 2026, your actions will define your life, not the hesitation of others. You are allowed to rise, not because they said it is okay, but because you said so. You are allowed to pursue, to fight, to dream, and to rebuild. You are allowed to take up space in this world, even if it makes others uncomfortable. Permission was never theirs to give. It has always been yours to take. And finally, understand this truth. Your life is a sacred responsibility. Waiting for permission is delaying your destiny. Waiting for someone else's nod is denying your own power. In 2026, stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop doubting. Stop letting the world decide your worth. Rebuild yourself by standing tall, acting boldly, and declaring without apology, I have permission to rise because I gave it to myself. I have permission to rebuild because I claim it now. I have permission to be everything I am meant to be because I am the author of my life. Fear is the silent thief of potential. It creeps into your mind, whispers doubts, and convinces you that you are not ready, not strong enough, not capable. It disguises itself as caution, as wisdom, as prudence, but deep down it is a liar. Fear tells you to wait, to hesitate, to shrink. It tells you that failure will define you, that the unknown is dangerous, and that your dreams are too big for you. But let me tell you something, fear is not real. It is a story your mind tells you to keep you small, to keep you comfortable, to keep you from living the life you were meant to live. In 2026, rebuilding yourself requires staring fear in the face and refusing to let it write the script of your life. Fear will always exist. It is part of being human. But the moment you allow it to dictate your choices, you surrender your power. You give away the life that is meant for you. Stop letting fear decide where you go, who you become, and what you achieve. Your courage is far stronger than your fear, but you must choose to act in spite of it. Fear thrives on hesitation. It grows stronger the longer you wait to act, the longer you allow uncertainty to paralyze you. Every day spent doubting, overthinking, or postponing action is another victory for fear. It does not take breaks. It does not sleep. It waits patiently for you to settle, to accept mediocrity, to compromise your dreams. But here's the truth. Fear only has power if you give it power. In 2026, if you want to rebuild yourself, you must recognize fear as a signal, not a barrier. It tells you where growth is possible, where challenges exist, and where courage is required. Every time fear rises, it is an invitation to step forward, to take risks, and to claim what is yours. The moment you embrace fear as a guide rather than a jailer, you unlock doors that have been closed by doubt and hesitation for far too long. Fear often masquerades as logic. It tells you this is too risky, you might fail, or you are not ready. And if you listen too closely, you begin to believe that your limitations are real, that your potential is finite, and that comfort is safer than growth. But comfort is a cage. Safety is an illusion. Life's greatest rewards, its deepest fulfillment, and its most profound purpose are never found in the safe zone. In 2026, rebuilding yourself demands stepping into the unknown, embracing uncertainty, and daring to pursue dreams that seem impossible. Fear will roar, but courage whispers, you are capable. Your heart knows the truth, even when your mind tries to deceive you. You are stronger than your fear, and every act of bravery chips away at its hold on your life. Fear can also be contagious. Surround yourself with people who hesitate, who doubt, who constantly question possibilities, and you will find your courage eroded, your vision clouded, and your energy sapped. Toxic voices amplify fear, but when you intentionally surround yourself with believers, doers, and dreamers, fear begins to shrink. The energy of progress and possibility is infectious. In 2026, choose your company wisely. Let fear be drowned out by action, determination, and the relentless pursuit of purpose. Your rebuild cannot wait for comfort. It cannot wait for approval. It cannot wait for the absence of fear. The presence of fear is inevitable, but letting it dictate your life is optional. One of the most powerful realizations is this: fear does not disappear when you are brave. Fear shows up every time you are about to step into greatness. The difference between those who succeed and those who falter is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is action in spite of it. In 2026, rebuilding yourself means doing what others are too afraid to do. It means walking paths that feel uncertain, speaking truths that make others uncomfortable, and claiming victories that your fear tells you are impossible. Each step forward weakens fear's grip, strengthens your resolve, and proves that you are not controlled by the voice that says you can't. Fear can be a master manipulator. It convinces you to settle for less, to accept mediocrity, and to hide your gifts. It whispers lies about your worth, your abilities, and your capacity for greatness. But every time you resist, every time you step forward in spite of the trembling, you reclaim power. You rewrite the story fear has been telling you. In 2026, the moment you reject fear as your ruler, you step into freedom. Your potential becomes limitless. Your confidence becomes unshakable. Your rebuild becomes unstoppable. Fear only has the power you give it. And you, my friend, were never meant to give it power over your destiny. Fear will challenge you. It will try to convince you to quit, to retreat, and to hide. It will manifest as doubt, procrastination, and self-sabotage. But let it be a reminder that you are alive, that you are stretching, and that you are growing. The path to rebuilding yourself is never free of fear. In fact, the greater your fear, the greater your breakthrough. Let fear be the fuel that drives you forward rather than the chains that hold you back. Every courageous step is a victory. Every bold choice is a triumph. And every risk taken in faith is a brick in the foundation of your new life. The truth is, fear cannot stop you unless you let it. It cannot define your destiny unless you allow it to. In 2026, rebuilding yourself demands that you see fear for what it is: a challenge, a signal, and an opportunity. It demands that you act anyway, speak anyway, and move anyway. Your potential, your purpose, and your dreams are far bigger than any fear that whispers, you can't. You must rise, not in the absence of fear, but in defiance. You must rebuild yourself by proving that courage is stronger than doubt, action is stronger than hesitation, and your vision is stronger than any lie fear tells you. And finally, know this: fear is temporary. Your dreams are eternal. The fear that grips you today will dissolve the moment you step into action. The doubt that paralyzes you will crumble when your courage ignites. In 2026, stop allowing fear to dictate your life. Rebuild yourself with audacity, with bravery, with unwavering resolve. Let fear be the reminder that you are alive and that you are about to rise. Let it be the signal that greatness awaits on the other side. Your life, your destiny, and your rebuild are far too important to be controlled by something as fleeting and powerless as fear. Step forward, act boldly, rise. The world is full of voices, some loud, some quiet, all insistent. Opinions, judgments, and advice come at you from every direction, and most of it is designed to distract you, confuse you, or control you. Stop listening to the noise. Stop letting the chatter of others dictate your steps, your decisions, or your worth. People will always have something to say about your dreams, your ambitions, your failures, and even your success. Some of it comes from ignorance, some from fear, some from envy, but none of it is a measure of your potential. In 2026, rebuilding yourself requires the courage to tune out the static and focus on the signal. Your inner voice, your purpose, your vision. Too many people waste their lives trying to satisfy the expectations of others, trying to prove themselves, trying to earn approval that will never fully come. Every opinion you internalize that is not rooted in truth, encouragement, or your own values is a chain holding you back. Rebuilding yourself starts the moment you stop giving power to the voices that do not serve you. People's opinions are often disguised as advice, as concern, as helpful feedback, but listen closely. The ones who speak from fear, insecurity, or jealousy are not trying to lift you. They are trying to measure you against their limitations. They want to tell you what is possible because they cannot imagine more. They want to warn you of dangers because they are afraid of risks themselves. They want to shape your life because they feel powerless over their own. And if you allow their noise to penetrate your mind, you begin to doubt your instincts, question your vision, and weaken your resolve. In 2026, you must learn to filter carefully. Not all advice is truth. Not all warnings are valid. Not all opinions deserve space in your mind. Your life, your rebuild, and your destiny are yours alone to navigate. And the moment you recognize this, you reclaim freedom. The noise of others' opinions is relentless. It comes as criticism, gossip, sarcasm, unsolicited guidance, or even disguised praise. It can be subtle, easy to ignore, or loud enough to shake your confidence. But make no mistake, if you let it control you, it will rob you of clarity, direction, and peace. Your focus will scatter, your confidence will crumble, and your energy will drain into trying to satisfy people who have no investment in your greatness. In 2026, the rebuild requires protecting your mind with the same diligence you protect your body. Guard it against negativity. Guard it against unsolicited opinions. Guard it against anyone who tries to measure your worth according to their scale of judgment. Your voice, your vision, and your conviction are the only authorities that matter in your journey of transformation. Listening to noise also creates fear and hesitation. You start thinking, what if they're right? Or what if I fail? Or what if I disappoint them? And suddenly, the spark of your ambition is dimmed by the shadows of imagined judgment. But here's the truth. Failure is not the enemy. Disappointment is not the enemy. The enemy is allowing other people's noise to dictate your actions, to limit your dreams, and to mute your voice. In 2026, rebuilding yourself means choosing what to internalize and what to dismiss. Every opinion that is not rooted in encouragement, truth, or your purpose is simply noise. And noise is dangerous only if you let it sit in your mind. There will always be critics. There will always be skeptics. There will always be naysayers who insist your dreams are too big, your ambitions too bold, or your timing too risky. And the most difficult part is that some of these voices come from people you love, respect, or care about. Family, friends, mentors. They may unintentionally add to the noise, questioning your choices or projecting their fears. But the moment you make your life contingent upon their approval, you hand over your power. Rebuilding yourself in 2026 demands the courage to stand alone if necessary, to trust your vision, and to act despite the opinions that try to hold you back. Noise also breeds comparison. When you listen too closely to others, you begin measuring your progress against their timelines, their standards, their successes. You forget that your journey is unique. You forget that your purpose, your pace, and your path are designed specifically for you. In 2026, rebuilding yourself means ignoring the comparison trap. It means focusing on your progress, your growth, your victories, no matter how small. The noise of the world cannot drown the clarity of your purpose unless you allow it to. Every time you internalize someone else's doubts, fears, or judgments, you give away your energy. You feed the noise with attention and it grows stronger. But when you choose to tune it out, when you focus only on your vision and your goals, you reclaim that energy. That energy becomes fuel. It becomes determination. It becomes unstoppable momentum. In 2026, your rebuild depends on knowing that you cannot control what others think, you cannot change their perspectives, and you cannot win their constant approval. And that is liberating. Stop mistaking noise for guidance. Stop confusing criticism for wisdom. Stop allowing judgment to cloud your decisions. The moment you understand that the opinions of others are not the measure of your worth, you step into freedom. You reclaim your confidence, your focus, and your courage. You rebuild with clarity and purpose. In 2026, let your actions be guided by vision, values, and your inner conviction, not by the chaos of external noise. The world will always have something to say, but your life is your responsibility. Noise is inevitable. Judgment is unavoidable. Opinions are endless. What is optional is the power you give them over your mind and your decisions. Rebuilding yourself in 2026 means creating a shield around your purpose, trusting your instincts, and moving boldly despite what others think. The noise is irrelevant. Your vision is essential. Your action is urgent. Your destiny is waiting. And it cannot be silenced by the chatter of those who do not see the fire burning within you. Finally, remember this: the louder the noise, the more important it is that you stay silent within. The more people talk, doubt, and judge, the more you must listen to your own voice, trust your own path, and honor your own journey. In 2026, rebuilding yourself demands this discipline. Silence the noise. Focus on the signal. Rise above opinions. Your life, your dreams, and your destiny are too precious to be shaped by the voices of others. The moment you stop listening to the noise, you begin to rebuild, brick by brick, step by step, heart by heart, into the life you were meant to live. One of the hardest truths about life is that not everyone will understand your vision. They will not see the fire burning inside you, the dreams you are chasing, or the goals you are building brick by brick. And when they don't, some will doubt you, criticize you, or even try to pull you back into their world of comfort and limitation. Waiting for everyone to understand before you act is a silent form of surrender. It is giving away your power and pausing your destiny until someone else validates your journey. In 2026, rebuilding yourself demands that you step forward, whether or not the world comprehends the scope of your dreams. You do not need universal approval to move. You do not need a crowd to cheer you on to make your first step. True visionaries act in spite of misunderstanding. They move forward even when everyone else shakes their heads. They understand that clarity does not come from outside, it comes from within. And when you embrace this truth, when you stop waiting for understanding, you reclaim freedom, courage, and momentum. Your life, your purpose, and your future cannot wait for the approval of those who cannot see what you see. Vision is often lonely in the beginning. People will question your methods, doubt your timing, and misinterpret your ambition. Why are you doing that? They ask. That will never work, they warn. Their words may sting, their disbelief may bruise your spirit, but let me tell you something. Their understanding is not required. The world does not have to grasp your vision for it to become real. Your action, your discipline, and your relentless pursuit are what make it tangible. In 2026, rebuilding yourself means accepting that you will face skepticism, judgment, and confusion, but these are not obstacles. They are signs that you are moving in the right direction. If everyone understood your vision from the start, you wouldn't be stretching, you wouldn't be pioneering, you wouldn't be growing. Misunderstanding is a mark of progress, a signal that you are stepping into greatness that others cannot yet comprehend. Too often, we allow the lack of understanding to paralyze us. We wait for explanations, for approval, for validation that may never come. We hesitate to take action because we fear rejection or ridicule. But here's the truth. Waiting for understanding is waiting for a permission that does not exist. Your life is yours to create, your purpose yours to pursue, and your vision yours to realize. In 2026, the rebuild starts the moment you stop asking for consent. You move forward, step by step, decision by decision, regardless of who comprehends, agrees, or supports you. Action is the bridge between vision and reality. And understanding from others is irrelevant. The people who understand you are rare. They are the ones who see your potential before it becomes visible, who believe in your fire before it fully ignites. But these allies are not required for you to move. Your energy, your determination, and your resilience are enough to carry you forward. Rebuilding yourself in 2026 requires embracing solitude at times, trusting your instincts, and honoring the clarity of your own vision. Waiting for everyone to understand is like waiting for a green light that will never flash. It is a delay tactic of the mind, a form of procrastination disguised as caution. Your mission, your dreams, and your legacy cannot wait for comprehension. They demand action. Misunderstanding often comes from fear. People fear what they cannot grasp, what challenges their worldview, or what exposes their own limitations. When they cannot see your vision, they criticize it, mock it, or try to restrain it. And if you let their fear control you, you will shrink, compromise, and delay your destiny. In 2026, rebuilding yourself means recognizing that other people's fear or inability to understand is not a reflection of your ability. It is a reflection of their limitations. You are not responsible for their comprehension. You are responsible for your action. You are responsible for your commitment to the life you are building, the dreams you are chasing, and the person you are becoming. Sometimes misunderstanding can feel isolating. You may feel alone, doubted, or even ridiculed. But isolation is the price of vision. It is the crucible where determination is forged, resilience is built, and courage is tested. In 2026, embrace the solitude that comes from pursuing what others cannot yet see. Your clarity, your passion, and your commitment are what will eventually illuminate the path for others to follow. Every step you take without understanding strengthens your resolve, sharpens your focus, and solidifies the foundation of your rebuild. Waiting for understanding also diminishes confidence. You second guess yourself. You question your decisions. You measure your worth by the eyes of those who cannot see your path. But confidence is cultivated by action, not validation. In 2026, rebuilding yourself requires anchoring your confidence in purpose, clarity, and relentless commitment. The approval of others is temporary. Your self-belief is permanent. Understand that misunderstanding is not rejection, it is simply part of the journey. What matters is that you continue, move boldly, and act decisively, regardless of who comprehends or agrees. Misunderstanding often comes with noise, criticism, doubt, unsolicited advice. The world will shout, "This will never work," or "Why are you doing this?" But these external voices are not facts. They are opinions. They are colored by fear, envy, and limitation. In 2026, your rebuild requires the courage to listen only to the signals that matter, the ones aligned with your vision, your goals, and your purpose. The rest is irrelevant. Do not allow misunderstanding to shake your faith, delay your progress, or dilute your commitment. Every misinterpreted step, every questioned decision, every doubted dream is fuel for your rise. Finally, understand this: no one's comprehension is necessary for your success. No one's approval is required for your action. No one's understanding is essential for your destiny. In 2026, rebuilding yourself means moving forward with unwavering courage, relentless determination, and absolute faith in your vision. Let the skeptics doubt. Let the critics talk. Let the confused shake their heads. You will rise. You will rebuild. You will achieve. Your life, your vision, and your destiny are too important to be held hostage by the understanding of others. Step boldly, act decisively, and rise unapologetically. As we stand at the threshold of 2026, I want you to pause for a moment and truly reflect on the journey you are about to embark on. Rebuilding yourself is not a project of days or weeks. It is a commitment to a lifetime of courage, clarity, and relentless action. It begins with the recognition that your pain, your failures, and your struggles are not signs of weakness. They are the foundation of your strength. Every scar you carry, every setback you've endured, and every night you felt lost has been preparing you for this moment. Your past is not a prison, it is a teacher. Your mistakes are not chains, they are bricks for the fortress of your future. And in 2026, you have the power to take those lessons, those experiences, and transform them into unstoppable momentum. Along this journey, you will encounter voices that claim to care but secretly celebrate your struggles. Recognize them, protect your energy. Let their disguised concern be a reminder that your growth is sacred and your focus must remain unshakable. You will also face the temptation to wait. Wait for permission, wait for understanding, wait for the perfect timing. But the truth is, the only permission you need is your own. The clarity, the courage, and the determination to step forward are already within you. The world does not owe you validation. It owes you action. And the moment you act, in spite of hesitation, doubt, or fear, you claim your power and you ignite your destiny. Fear will always be there. It will whisper, it will pressure, it will try to convince you to shrink. But remember, fear only has the power you give it. When you step forward anyway, when you embrace the unknown with faith and determination, fear loses its grip. Every time you act in spite of fear, you prove to yourself that your courage is greater than any limitation, your resolve stronger than any doubt, and your vision bigger than any obstacle. In rebuilding yourself, fear becomes a signal, a guidepost, pointing to the areas where growth is possible, where breakthroughs await, and where your strength will shine the brightest. The opinions of others, the noise, the judgments, the skepticism, they are distractions. They are the static that tries to drown your vision. But your rebuild demands that you tune out that noise, that protect your focus, and that honor your own voice above all else. Your life, your purpose, and your destiny are not subject to the comprehension or approval of anyone else. Step forward, act boldly, and remain unwavering in the pursuit of your dreams, even if no one understands at first. Your persistence will eventually illuminate the path, not just for yourself, but for those who follow your example. And finally, never forget that your vision, your potential, and your future are sacred. Waiting for approval, understanding, or validation only delays the greatness that is already within you. 2026 is not just another year, it is the year of your rise, the year of your breakthrough, the year of your rebuild. Embrace the journey with courage, discipline, and unwavering faith. Protect your energy, act decisively, and let your life be the testament to your strength, your resilience, and your vision. The world may doubt you, fear may challenge you, and voices may try to pull you back, but nothing can stop the one who refuses to wait, the one who refuses to shrink, the one who chooses to rebuild. Thank you. God bless you. May 2026 be the year you rise, reclaim your power, and rebuild the life you were always meant to live.